Before we get started tonight, I just want to acknowledge Kyle McCarthy, who is shadowing Diane Jacutis tonight, and I'm going to ask Kyle, come up here, please, Kyle. Just to stay with me for a few minutes, Kyle. Roll call.
Counsel Barton?
Present.
Present. Counsel Cahill?
Present.
Present. Counsel Capano?
Present.
Present. Counsel Kachutis?
I'm present.
Counsel Calucci?
Present.
Counsel Seer?
Present.
Counsel LaPierre?
Present.
Counsel Lozey?
Present.
Counsel Net?
Present.
Counsel Trahant?
Present.
Counsel Walsh?
Present.
Please stand for a moment of silence.
Mr. President, if we could remember Bob Doyle, please.
Mr. President, the McCoy family.
I'm going to ask Kyle to lead us into the Pledge of Allegiance.
One nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Communications. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Accept the minutes from the last
So
meeting.
moved. Second.
Those in favor? Communications.
Dear councilors, I am hereby appointing Ms. Roxanne Marshall to the Citizens Advisory Board to replace Gregory Osias. Ms. Marshall's term is effective immediately. Sincerely, Judith Flanagan Kennedy, Mayor.
Approved. Seconded. Roll call.
Counsel Barton?
Yes.
Counsel Cahill?
Yes.
Counsel Capano?
Yes.
Counsel Chakutis?
Yes.
Counsel Calucci?
Yes.
Counsel Seer?
Yes.
Counsel LaPierre?
Yes.
Counsel Lozey?
Yes.
Counsel Net?
Yes.
Counsel Trahant?
Yes.
Counsel Walsh?
Yes.
Any
Dear-
other?
Dear councilors, I am hereby appointing Mr. Robert Stillion as chairman to the planning board. Sincerely, Judith Flanagan Kennedy, Mayor.
Motion to approve. Second.
Mr. President, on that motion,
Yes, Mr. Lozey.
I have a problem, not so much with the candidate nor the candidates coming up for reappointment to the planning board. However, they're supposed to be a staggered term. We're not supposed to be appointing 3 or 4 board members at one sitting. I'd like to hear from the mayor why we're being asked to approve 4 board members in one sitting. By law, they're supposed to be staggered.
Jim?
Council, you are correct. These are staggered terms. My understanding is that a number of these are holdover appointments, but their terms would be staggered and end, and this would not be a full, I believe it's a 3-year term, but if that's what the communication said, so that certainly could be corrected, but it would be a staggered term, and there are I believe all of them are holdovers at this time.
Thank you, Attorney Lamanna. It still doesn't answer the question, though, why the mayor is holding over almost 3 years an appointment. If they're staggered, and somebody here, we should know the dates of their appointment and when they're up. And I can understand maybe holding over 3 months, 6 months, but 2 to 3 years holding over, this is not. Again, I'd like to hear from the mayor's office why these delays in appointments.
Okay, are you requesting that the mayor come in front of the council?
I don't think she has to come, but I certainly would like to hear from her office as to why we're having these delays.
Through written
and we're appointing
communication?
4 members of the board. And if they're a
Counsel, would you
3-year
like
term
that?
and staggered.
Through written communication, Councilor Cahill? Did you raise your hand?
Oh, no, sorry.
Okay.
Well, I don't know if we're on the motion to approve these, and again, I think I know each of these individuals coming up, and they're well qualified, they do an excellent job, but I just don't understand why they're coming up all at once. And again, at least one of them is going on 3 years.
Councilor Capano.
Yes, if Council Lozey would like to make that in the form of a motion for a written explanation through a communication from the mayor, I'd second that.
Okay, so moved. Thank you, Councilor Capano.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, so do you want to continue to approve these appointments, but at the same time, we can ask the mayor?
Mr. President, there's a motion on the floor to approve.
Second.
I
Yeah,
ask for a roll call.
I'm in favor of these appointments, and right now we have before us the first one, which is Mr. Robert Stillion.
And motion's been made, seconded, roll call.
Counsel Barton?
Yes.
Counsel Cahill?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Capano?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Chakutis? Yes. Yes, Counsel Calucci?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Seer?
Yes.
Counsel LaPierre?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Lozey?
Yes.
Counsel Net?
Yes.
Yes, Counsel Trahan?
Yes.
Counsel Walsh?
Yes.
Yes.
All stand up and all in fire.
Another appointment.
And the last one is, Dear Councilors, I am hereby reappointing the following individuals to the Planning Board: David Angeli, Paul Price, and Stephen Upton. Sincerely, Judith Flanagan Kennedy, Mayor.
Motion to approve.
Seconded, roll call.
Counsel Barton?
Yes.
Counsel Cahill?
Yes.
Counsel Capano?
Yes.
Counsel Chakutis? Yes. Counsel Calucci?
Yes.
Counsel Seer?
Yes.
Counsel LaPierre?
Yes.
Counsel Lozey?
Yes.
Counsel Net?
Yes.
Counsel Trahan?
Yes.
Counsel Walsh? Oh, yes. Discussion is on medical marijuana treatment facilities.
Councilor Capano.
Yeah, so, about a month back, we sent out some RFPs to interested parties, for medical marijuana treatment facilities in the designated areas in Ward 6. And, we've had discussions. I've spoken to the police chief, the fire chief, Public Safety Chair Buzzy Barton, Council President Terrence Sear, and a number of people in the ward. I've had neighborhood meetings for both affected areas. At the police station, I had a separate meeting for the River Street, Camden Street area, and also the Alley Street, Shepherd Street area. And as a result of those discussions and discussions with the interested parties, I would like to make two motions. The first one being, I'd like to make a motion to forward a letter of non-opposition to the Massachusetts Department of Public Health regarding the application for a medical marijuana treatment facility in the city of Lynn on behalf of Old World Remedies Incorporated for a facility located at 953 Western Avenue, Lynn, Mass.
Second.
It's in the form of a motion.
Second.
Seconded. Discussion. Roll call.
Counsel Barton?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Cahill?
Abstain.
Abstain. Counsel Capano?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Chakutis?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Calucci?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Seer?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel LaPierre?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Lozey?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Net?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Trahan?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Walsh?
Yes.
Yes.
I'd also like to make a motion to forward a letter of non-opposition to the Massachusetts Department of Public Health regarding the application for a medical marijuana treatment facility in the city of Lynn on behalf of Massachusetts Patient Foundation, Inc., for a facility located at 487 492 Lynn Way, Lynn, Mass.
Second.
Form of a motion. Seconded. Discussion. Roll call.
Counsel Barton?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Cahill?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Capano?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Chakutis?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Calucci?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Seer?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel LaPierre?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Lozey?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Net?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Trahan?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Walsh?
Yes.
Yes.
Next public hearing.
Resolution for the Downtown Arts and Culture District redesignation.
All those wishing to speak in favor?
Mr. President, that's a resolution.
That's a resolution.
Want me to read the resolution?
Yes, please.
Okay, the resolution for the Downtown Arts and Culture District redesignation. A resolution by the City of Lynn to reestablish a state-authorized cultural district for at least 5 years to be named the Downtown Lynn Cultural District. Whereas the City of Lynn, through the Lynn EDIC, wishes to reestablish a state-designated cultural district through the Massachusetts Enabling Legislation, Mass General Law, Chapter 10, Section 58A. Whereas downtown Lynn is a mixed-use area with a concentration of unique cultural assets and facilities. Whereas the Lynn City Council has held a public hearing and adopted a resolution proclaiming its interest in establishing a state-designated cultural district. Whereas the City of Lynn has established a broad and diverse District Partnership Advisory Committee of stakeholders committed to cultural, community, and economic development to provide oversight of the district. Whereas the Massachusetts Cultural Council will be petitioned in accordance with its guidelines and criteria to redesignate said cultural district. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Lynn that the City, Article 1, endorses the submission of this application and agrees to foster the development of a cultural district. Article 2, endorses the state-sponsored cultural district goals, attracting artists and cultural enterprises, encouraging business and job development, establishing tourist destinations, preserving and reusing historic buildings, enhancing property values, and fostering local cultural development. Article 3 endorses the district partnership goals of collective marketing, enhanced programming, organizational cooperation, resource development, and infrastructural support within the district. Article 4 will appoint a city official to represent the city within the district partnership of said cultural district. Article 5, encourage all who own property or business within said cultural district and citizens from throughout the City of Lynn to involve themselves and participate in the hill development of the cultural district. And finally, Article 6, directs city agencies to identify problems and services that could support and enhance the development of the cultural district and ensure that those programs and services are accessible to the cultural district.
Mr. President, can she repeat 3 through 6? I wasn't paying attention.
Motion to approve the resolution, Mr. President.
What's the wish of the Councilor Cahill?
Mr. President, through you to the council, I just want to, be excited about this because instead of designating our arts and culture district, we are re-designating our arts and cultural district, where most communities in the Commonwealth have failed to even designate one. So I think it's been 5 years. It seems like it just happened the other day, but this council should be very proud of the fact that we were one of the first cities to designate an arts and cultural district. Also, in the interim, we've seen murals go up, cultural events, festivals, art shows, art installations, and we're on the verge of a very large art installation going on in the downtown. So Councilor Diana Chakoudas and Councilor Richard Colucci, who have the majority of the downtown, should be commended for their efforts of really bringing in the arts and cultural district folks, and I'm very excited to be part of this. It seems as though you've been here too long when you start doing redesignations, so I am very proud to be part of a redesignation. Maybe we've been here too long, but I'd be proud to join my councilors in what has been a tremendous success for Lynn and the downtown, Mr. President. Thank you.
So is there a motion?
There was, Mr. President. I made a motion. It was
Second.
seconded.
A motion's been made, seconded. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Now on to the public hearing.
Okay, a proposed ordinance repealing the ordinance modernizing and reorganizing the office of the city clerk.
All those wishing to speak in favor? All those wishing to speak in favor? All those wishing to speak in favor? Seeing none, that part of the hearing is closed. Anyone wishing to speak in opposition? Anyone wishing to speak in opposition? Anyone wishing to speak in opposition? Seeing none, that part of the hearing is closed. What is the wish of the council?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call.
Counsel Barton?
Yes.
Yes, to approve. Counsel Cahill? Yes. Counsel Capano?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Chakoudas? Yes. Yes. Counsel Calucci?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Seer?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel LaPierre?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Lozey?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Net?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Trahan?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Walsh?
Yes.
Motion carries.
An act amending the act establishing a Department of Inspectional Services in the City of Lynn.
All those wishing to speak in favor? All those wishing to speak in favor? Please state your name and your address.
My name is Joseph, middle initial B, last name Martin. My address is 27 Kings Beach Road, Lynn, Mass. 01902. And I rise to speak in favor of the transfer, but I do have some concerns about the home rule petition as it exists. The first one being is that in the fourth section, it talks about the City of Lynn Personnel Director and City of Lynn Labor Attorney should be responsible for all matters related to collective bargaining. The school department has their own labor attorney. I don't see why, when the custodians were originally transferred over, the issue was covered by at the time, for the transfer, the city attorney, why, when the school committee has their own labor attorney, that this would be in there. It just doesn't make any sense. It also says the City of Lynn Personnel Director. Again, the school department has their own personnel director. How exactly, since they're being transferred from the city side back to the school side, who's going to pay the salary of the time of the lost time for the personnel director, since his job is fully funded by the City of Lynn? They're also going, with the labor attorney, that just blows my mind. It almost seems, after reading this, when I go farther down, looking at future hirings, Chapter 31 has an appointing authority, not a hiring committee. The appointing authority for the City of Lynn is the mayor. The appointing authority for the school department is the superintendent of schools. Also, it talks about, in this particular issue, about that the city attorney and the personnel director will continue the labor relations until this contract expires. All the contracts are negotiated by law by the school committee. It seems like these custodians and maintenance are actually being singled out. After reading this, it actually comes to the point where it looks like that, yeah, you're transferring the custodians, but it's really just smoke and mirrors, that they're really answerable to the City of Lynn and to the ISD department. The problem I have with that is that a couple years ago, the City of Lynn had to settle a case related to net school spending, where it costs the city $2.3 million over a 4-year period, which we currently have done for 2 years. And this year, there was again another issue related to net school spending, and the state was holding up $11 million. Again, both issues were resolved, but both were related to health care. What my concern is looking at this in the way it's written, is that these custodians are still going to be employees of the ISD, but actually act like an independent contractor for the school department. And my concern as a taxpayer is that although you as a city council can set up the government any way you want, the DOR is going to look at who's responsible, who's in charge, and if everyone in the school department is subject to collective bargaining with the school committee, the direction of the superintendent, but we have these guys, these custodians and maintenance guys, who are still subject to all these other separate City of Lynn stuff. To me, it's not like it's really a transfer, and I am concerned that, just like what happened with the original health care, that 4 or 5 years down the road, they're going to say, the DOI is going to come in and say, no, you didn't do it the right way. Yeah, you can structure your city government any way you want, but these guys really look like not employees but independent contractors, really employed by the city, but you're counting them on the school department. And based on, just round numbers, saying if it's $1 million, okay, say it happened 4 or 5 years, now you're looking at $5 million plus a 20% surtax for not meeting next school spending, so you're looking at $200,000 more a year. So I have some grave concerns related to this worded. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to speak in favor? Anyone else wishing to speak in favor? Anyone else wishing to speak in favor? Seeing none, that part of the hearing is closed. Attorney LaMotta, would you like to answer any of those concerns?
My understanding is there may be some amendments that have be pro-offered later. This original draft, as advertised, states that only the custodian units will go to over to the school department. The maintenance crew would stay here at ISD, and having my understanding that there may be one council may be making a motion to send over all of the maintenance employees, all of the custodial employees, that may be a moot point. Given that the superintendent and the chief of ISD both are in favor of all of the custodians, all the maintenance to go over, I believe there will also may be another amendment for this council to consider where the labor attorney and the personnel director will only deal with existing grievances. And moving forward, John Mayos and the school committee will do all remaining grievances.
Okay, thank you, Attorney LaMotta. Anyone wishing to speak in opposition? Anyone wishing to speak in opposition? Anyone wishing to speak in opposition? Seeing none, that part of the hearing is closed. What's the wish of the council? Council Capano.
I'd like to make a motion to approve this with amendments that would ensure that the maintenance people go over with the custodians, and also that all collective bargaining and contract be done with the school department and not with the city.
Second.
That's been seconded.
And just one thing, I just want to know if worded that way with Attorney LaMotta, does that cover the concerns of raised by Joe Martin from the custodians?
There may be a formal amendment that deals with all those issues.
Okay, fine.
So, do you want to withdraw your motion and
There's
make
a
a motion?
formal amendment that would cover that, yes.
All right. So, is that a motion to approve, though?
A motion to approve
Seconded.
with those amendments.
Discussion, Council Barton.
After consulting with the superintendent of schools, I would like to make a motion to amend this ordinance. I would request that the city clerk read the amendment into the record at this time.
Section 1 of the Home Rule petition is hereby amended as follows. Section 1, Section 4-3 of the Charter of the City of Lynn, which is on file in the Office of the Archivist of the Commonwealth, as provided in Section 12 of Chapter 43B of the General Laws, is hereby amended by striking out Clause E and inserting in place thereof of the following clause. E, control all school buildings and grounds connected with those buildings, except extraordinary maintenance and capital repairs, which shall be under the jurisdiction of the Department of Inspectional Services. Section 2(3) is hereby amended as follows. Part 3. The facility division shall be responsible for the custodial maintenance and ground services for all public buildings and all facilities except school buildings, including the ordinary maintenance of the plumbing and plumbing fixtures and electrical wires and fixtures in all municipal buildings and structures, including all city recreational facilities, and for operation and maintenance of the electrical components of the street lighting and traffic regulatory signals and devices. The facility division shall include custodial and maintenance employees and supervisors and be under the direct supervision of the Director of Buildings and Grounds, who shall be a Level 2 department head for salary purposes. The Director of Buildings and Grounds shall be preferred to have as minimum qualifications a Bachelor of Science degree in Facility Management, Architecture, or Engineering, or 5 years of similar experience in municipal facility management. The facility division shall be responsible for extraordinary maintenance and capital repairs for school buildings. Section 2, Part 4 is hereby amended as follows. 4A, the Lynn School Department will have the responsibility for the custodial, ordinary maintenance, and ground services for all school buildings within the City of Lynn. The Supervisor of School Custodial Maintenance and Ground Services shall be a newly created position who shall oversee all custodians assigned to public school buildings. The Supervisor of School Custodial and Ground Services shall be appointed by the Superintendent of Schools and may be removed for cause. The Supervisor of School Custodial Maintenance and Ground Services shall be considered an employee for purposes of Mass General Laws, Chapter 150E. The Superintendent of Schools shall have the option of appointing an existing employee of the City of Lynn as Supervisor of School Custodial Maintenance and Ground Services. In the event that the Superintendent of Schools appoints an existing employee for the City of Lynn as Supervisor of School Custodial Maintenance and Ground Services, the Lynn School Committee shall establish the additional compensation for said employee. However, in no event shall said compensation be less than a $15,000 increase to the base wage of said employee. In establishing said additional compensation, the Lynn School Committee shall take into account the fact that said employee will have additional duties related to reporting to the Superintendent of Schools and the Lynn School Committee. The Supervisor of School Custodial Maintenance and Ground Services shall be preferred to have as minimum qualifications a Bachelor of Science degree in Facility Management, Architecture or Engineering, or 5 years of similar experience in municipal facility management. Section 4, Part B. The existing Assistant Supervisors of Custodians and Maintenance shall be transferred to the Lynn School Department at their existing compensation, with no loss of pay or benefits during their tenure. The Assistant Supervisors of Custodians and Maintenance shall henceforth be referred to as Assistant Supervisors of School Custodial, Maintenance, and Ground Services. Future Assistant Supervisors of School Custodial, Maintenance, and Ground Services shall be appointed by the Superintendent of Schools and may be removed for cause. The Assistant Supervisors of School Custodial and Ground Services shall be considered employees for purposes of Mass General Law, Chapter 150E. Section 4, Part C. The existing collective bargaining agreement between the City of Lynn and Local 1736 Custodial and Maintenance shall remain in full force in effect. The City of Lynn Personnel Director and the City of Lynn Labor Attorney shall be responsible for all matters relating to collective bargaining, grievances, arbitrations, civil service appeals, and matters before the Council for School Committee shall be responsible for all matters before the Massachusetts Commission Against Discrimination, the United States Federal Court, all matters involving claims under Title VII, and any and all claims not related to the collective bargaining process, except those claims traditionally handled by the City Solicitor's Office. Counsel for the Lynn School Committee shall be responsible for all matters relating to collective bargaining, grievances, arbitrations, civil service appeals, and matters before the Department of Labor Relations that arise after the enactment of this Act. And finally, Section 4, Part D. Preference shall be given on any future hiring of custodians to current and former employees of the City of Lynn. Any such hiring will be by majority approval of a hiring committee to be made up of the Superintendent of Schools, the Chief of the Department of Inspectional Services, and the Director of Buildings and Grounds. Nothing in this act shall impair the civil service rights of any employees of Local 1736.
Is that it?
That's it.
Welcome to the council. Is the wish on the motion?
Approve.
Roll call.
Counsel Barton?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Cahill?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Capano?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Jacutis?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Calucci?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Seer?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel LaPierre?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Lozey?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Net?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Trahan?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Walsh?
Yes.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay. Next is an act authorizing the City of Lynn to use certain parkland for school purposes.
Anyone wishing to speak in favor? Anyone wishing to speak in favor? Anyone wishing to speak in favor? Seeing none, that part of the hearing is closed. Anyone in opposition? Anyone wishing to speak in opposition? Anyone wishing to speak in opposition? That part of the hearing is closed. What is the wish of the council?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call.
Counsel Barton?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Cahill? Yes. Counsel Capano?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Jacutis?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Calucci?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Seer?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel LaPierre?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Lozey?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Net?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Trahan?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Walsh?
Public hearings to be set down?
Let me read them all together.
Yes.
Okay. Petition of Jose Bracamontes, owner of Tequila Dona Julia, 80 Central Ave, for permission to add an all-alcohol license in an existing restaurant open on Monday through Saturday through Sunday, 9 a.m. to 12 a.m. Petition of Alexander and Wilder Rodriguez to open a bakery with seating at 70 Commercial Street. And petition of National Grid, Robert Coulter, for permission to propose duct bank installation on Washington Street from the intersection of Boston Street to the intersection of Layton Street.
Set them down.
Do it.
Do it.
Motion's been made, seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Any unfinished business? No unfinished business?
New business.
Motion to adjourn.
No, wait.
We have the committee reports.
Oops. I'm in a hurry.
Committee reports,
I shot off the hip there. I was shitting off the hip.
they'll have to wait. Committee reports.
Ways and Means.
Pardon?
Am I going to Ways and Means?
Yep, Ways and
Okay.
Means.
And I'll just read them all.
Any objections to reading them all?
So moved.
Go ahead.
Okay. Ordered that the city comptroller take the following action. Transfer the sum of $106,100 from the reserve to police department for retirement payouts. Transfer the sum of $58,446.49 from the reserve to various departments to fund sick buyback per collective bargaining terms. Appropriate the sum of $355,000 from revolving accounts to the Pickering Middle School feasibility study for 2 new middle schools. Transfer the sum of $2,271.54 from the state election funds to the election payroll to fund workers for the special election. Transfer the sum of $50,600 from the state election fund to the accounts of election and city clerk to fund the special election in March 2017. Transfer the sum of $55.06 from the Lynn fire expense to the fire department for prior year bills. Certify as an available fund in the amount of $399,288 to the DPW by the DOT for the Complete Streets Program grant. And the last one is certify as an available fund the amount of $8,800 to the school department by the Mass Life Sciences Center to fund the professional development program at Lynn English High School.
Councilor Trahan.
It was unanimous vote of the committee. Mr. President, motion to accept.
No.
Motion's been made,
Second.
seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Was there an emergency?
Yeah, there was a motion for an emergency also.
Motion on the emergency, seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Carries. Licensing. Councilor Walsh.
Thank you, Mr. President. We get unanimous vote of committee, motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Public properties, Mr. Net.
Committee voted to approve. Make motion to accept.
Second.
Made, to accepted, seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposes? Councilor Kaluch.
New business.
Hold on, hold on.
New business.
I need a roll call, I'm sorry.
Tony needs something to say.
On the finance? Okay, we gotta go back to the finance. I need a roll call on that.
On the emergency.
On the emergency?
Motion to
Emergency.
make emergency on the Finance Committee.
Second.
Counsel Barton?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Cahill?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Capano? Oh, absent. Counsel Chakutis? Yes. Yes. Counsel Calucci?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Seer?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel LaPierre?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Lozey?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Net?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Trahan?
Yes.
Counsel Walsh?
Yes.
Yes.
Councilor LaPierre.
Thank you, Mr. President. Due to the recent snowstorms, obviously, DPW locally did a fantastic job across the city, back-to-back-to-back storms over the last weekend or so. It has come to my attention, I've been working with, in consultation with Councilor Chakutis and my colleague here, Councilor Calucci, on the shoveling of the underpasses, specifically under train tracks and also the MBTA garage and the bridges. So a lot of folks were reaching out to all of us about collectively the responsibility of the MBTA doing their share as our workers have done their yeoman's work. So I would like to make a motion with the help of our legal department to draft a letter to Secretary of Transportation Pollock. Number one, asking who our local representative is so we can get a contact of who's responsible for that kind of work and the maintenance of that area. And additionally, if we can ask of her that this be done for future storms. I
So
make
is
that
that
in
in
the
the
form
form
of
of
a
a
motion.
motion, seconded by Councilor Jacutis? Roll call.
Counsel Barton?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Cahill? Yes. Counsel Cahill?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Capano? Absent. Oh, Counsel Chakutis? Yes. Counsel Calucci?
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Seer?
Yes.
Counsel LaPierre.
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Lozey.
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Net.
Yes.
Yes. Counsel Trahan.
Yes.
Counsel Walsh. Yes.
Councilor
Mr.
Calucci.
President, Mr. President,
Councilor
for
Barton.
all the women that are watching, happy Valentine's Day.
Kiss up.
That in the motion?
Motion to adjourn.
Is that a
Such a
motion?
charmer, isn't he?
Thank you, Kyle.
Good job,
Appreciate you
Kyle.
coming.
Kyle, good job.
Kyle, here's some cookies, take home.